So we last week we went for an alternative spring break in Detroit, and it was as part of the pre-collegiate initiative for the National Society of Black Engineers, and so I just want everybody to know what the mission of NSBE is, so you can understand why we did what we did. So the mission of NSBE is to increase the number of culturally responsible Black engineers who excel academically, succeed professionally, and positively impact the community. So it was 8 of us here in the picture. And we're all wearing NSBE and Michigan Tech shirts, and that we made for the trip, and we wore this all week. We did well. Okay, we were there from all week, all spring break week. But we actually did these events from March 6th to March 9th. And so during the day, so it means the morning and the afternoon, we visit elementary, middle schools, and we visited one high school. So we visited 6 elementary, middle schools, and a high school, I think, like that. And on average, I don't know if I have the number right, because we haven't sat with John and stuff, but I think that we spoke to about 120 students per school and per group. And it was it was 8 of us, and we were 4 groups of 2 students. So what we're doing is speaking to kids about engineering and getting them engaged with a few activities, and it was a lot of interaction. And for the whole week, I don't know if my math is right, I think we spoke to over 2,500 students.
I was estimating that based on the numbers they gave us, how many kids are going to be in those classes.
Oh, great.
So I have a few pictures on there, and we would spend about, I don't know, like maybe 40 minutes on average in the class. Because some yeah, depending on the school. In some schools we had like 35 minutes, in some others 50. So that's what we spend in each class, and and what we would do during the evening from 6 to 8 p.m. is family engineering nights, which John helps us a lot with. And those were evenings where we'll get students and parents engaged in like engineering activities. We had like 6 long activities, so 6 of us were like leading, were hosting and leading 6 different activities, and then just 2 of us were in the big room hosting 20 short different activities. And it was like just quick activities introducing just basic engineering concepts, and those were fun. So trying to like introduce the idea of engineering as being a very crucial part of our life, modern life, and also as that it could be fun. So that's what we did, and that's what I have.
Well, one of the things that we noticed is that when we went into the schools, like when we went into the classrooms, that a lot of students at first, like you ask them who knows what engineering does or who knows what engineering is, and there's like nobody raises their hand. But then after we've done the activities with them, they're all excited, like yeah. And then you go back and you remember, you ask them like, so what kind of engineer, if you were to be one, what kind, and they knew like different kinds. Like so we went not only to increase the awareness about STEM fields and the fields of engineering, but also just to help them to understand that it's a possibility and it's something that they're all capable of doing. So during the daytime, it wasn't so much that we were trying to get them to come to family engineering night as we were to just make them aware that everything is possible, even at young ages. Like the activity that each team had their different activities that they did inside the classrooms. Valencia and I. That was my teammate. We were called the dynamic duo the entire time that we were out there. But the way that we had set it up is that if we were talking to grade 7 and up, that we would do more of the question and answer and presentation with them. But with the younger kids, of course, they were more like hands-on. So we did Let's Communicate, which is it has Legos.
I love that.
So you take Legos and you give one person a set of Legos and you give another person a set of Legos, and they're the exact same. And so we would demonstrate in front of the little kids that, you know, communicating is important. Communicating is just as important as it is for you to listen as it is for you to speak. And so by doing the activity, it wasn't also just fun for them. It helped them to understand that, okay, well, maybe there's some things that I do need to get better at doing. Even at a young age, it was something that they could anticipate, and something that they could see was important in their educational values, and something that they saw was something that they had to work on, not only as young children, but even, you know, looking at us do the activity between each other. Like, if we didn't get it right, we're like, you know, we're grown, and you see how it is for us. So it gave us a way. It was a way to bridge a gap where the little kids are able to understand, you know, like, this is not only fun, it's interesting. And then the older kids looked at us like, a lot of times in DPS schools, you find that the students are not. What's a
How
good
do you
way
say
to
that's
put
in
this?
right word? I know what you're talking about.
They're not prepared. I mean, in the simple way of saying it, it's just they're not prepared, and they don't know the opportunities that are available to them. So having someone that looks like them, that's telling them, like, you know, you can do this is possible, it gives them the encouragement that they need a lot of times to just complete what they're doing and to actually look into furthering their education. Because honestly, like, a lot of students, when we would ask them who planned to go to college, they all had planned. They all had planned to go, or that they wanted to go, but half of them didn't know what they wanted to be. So when they saw us, it was kind of like, oh, well, that's always an option. And it's kind of sort of, I feel like, though, is if we did something like this on a more regular basis, that it would be a way for them to learn how to trust us. And a lot of times that mentoring, even if it's just coming there to speak to them every once in a while, is better than nothing. And it's like, if we make the difference in one person, then that's more than it will ever be. You know, it's for us, that's touching one person is just as valuable as touching everyone. So
I learned that I was a lot more patient than I thought I was. Yes. But the younger kids, for third grade and up, some of them are so smart and so quick and so eager to participate. That just blew my heart up.
What I learned about myself is that I've been always having this thing of being a teacher, back and forth thing, but kind of after this spring break, it kind of verified that I kind of want to go into teaching. So, yes, I learned a lot.
Wanted to put their heads, but what I found was more or less that they didn't think they actually had an opportunity. Especially after we went through the slide and they saw the 3.64 GPA, a lot of them were like, shoot, I know I ain't never going to college. So what I did was I told them, I said, well, don't be intimidated by these numbers, because tech only requires a 2.5 to get in. And if you don't have the grades or the SATs, there's always another road that could lead you to college. So I took them through the university, community college route, and told them that you get your grades up, you can transfer in, you don't have to worry about SATs, just have a minimum GPA. And then a lot of their faces went from this to that. So, you know.
My experience, we found that in our classes, a lot of people did raise their hand and say they wanted to go to college. But then when we in turn asked the question, how many people study, there were no hands. No hands. So we had to stress the fact that if you do want to go to college, you have to study and you have to put in the work. And when we told them how many hours that, on average, that a college student or, you know, ourselves, how much we study, they were like, wow, on weekends too? You know? So we had to put into their minds that if you want to go to college, there's things that you have to do. You can't just get into college and sit there. You know what I mean? You have to retain your GPA.
Right, and another question we got asked a lot was, is engineering hard? And I had to make them realize, if you get a good foundation now where you are, like in 5th and 6th grade, on math, English, science, whatever the subject, by the time you get to college level, it's just like taking another class. So I related it to them to like playing a video game. When you conquer that first level, what happens? It sucks you in and makes you want more and more, and that's the way, you know, that's the way it is for me. With what I do, I love what I do. So the more I do and the better I get at it, the more I want to do it. So
my favorite group, I had like 30 people. And I had the parents more hyped than the children. It was so hilarious.
Actually, yeah,
they were screaming. You could hear them all the way down the hallway on the end of the school. It was so fun.
The parents really loved these activities. They would get into it. I mean, most of the parents in the school would get really into it.
They get competitive.
Yeah, competitive.
This so is great. It was.
This yours? Or
yeah.
Yeah, give me a hand.
Yeah. Man, I had one little guy in there. He couldn't have been. He had to be going on 7, and the adults couldn't even see this deep into the project. He just looked at everything, didn't touch it. Said, "I need me a spring." Picked up a big paper clip, opened it up, grabbed 2 rubber bands, the plastic spoon and the plastic fork, attached them, and just went picking up everything. This is complete. He's 7 years old, man. Just
He's ready. He knew what he needed. He could see it.
Natural born engineer, right
So
there.
it starts here and then it's tacit.
Oh,
Well, let's give NSBE a great big hand.